So, yo, what is up, everybody? On this beautiful sunny day, pardon my hair. I got a new gaming headset for my computer or whatever for better audio to be able to play games, which I don't recommend doing. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about, I had some people bringing up some topics about physics and space and time, because I was talking about how time did not exist in a previous video, and that we are not like on a linear trajectory in time, but they started coming up with all of these equations, and honestly a lot of what they're talking about with the physics and the equations and the time and the distance that it takes and speed for light to travel, a lot of it was actually making sense if you actually have that perspective of time and space existing, right? It logically was kind of coming together. And I was like, okay, some of you guys that are out there, you guys are pretty smart. But the point of this channel is not necessarily not to be smart, because we do appreciate critical thinking around here for sure. But the point of this channel is to basically break down a lot of life and the existence and the reality around us into simple terms so people can easily understand it. And also I like that as well too. It doesn't take, I mean, I do like critical thinking. It takes effort and takes a lot of thought to be able to do that, and not everyone wants to put in that effort, which is understandable because it's takes energy, right? But I do still want the channel to have a lot of things that are put in plain and simple terms, so it's just easy for you guys to digest and we can just easily talk about it. And I think life actually is like that, where it is relatively simple. It's not super complex like people make it out to be. Like my other videos when I'm talking about like what's the point of our existence is basically to survive and reproduce, right? That's what all living things want to do, is carry on their genes. But anyways, today I'm going to talk to you guys about why space actually does not exist as well too. So now, am I 100% certain that this is true? No. I think it's impossible to know anything absolutely or with 100% certainty. But what I will say is a lot of what we see nowadays, or last like 10-20 years, when it comes to space, is a lot of CGI and like representation of what space is. We don't actually see photos, and even if we did, there's no way that we actually know that these are reality. So a lot of things that you see online, and someone was even making a comment about like my videos are not like real and things like that as well too, which is a pretty good point, because pretty much anything you see online you can't believe, right? Like the only thing that you can really know is reality, and what is real is what is around you and what you can sense, feel, taste, and smell and see. Now obviously, like with videos, you can hear, you can see, but it's on a screen and it's projected over digitally from my computer or whatever to yours off of the internet, right? So even that is technically true. Oh, there's little berries on the ground or something. What the heck? Is that a berry tree? Oh yeah, it has like little berries, huh? Anyways, yeah, so even all that, you can't even really tell. I have seen another YouTuber that I watch about like these deeper topics. He was talking about how like molecules and like DNA and things like that have never actually been observed, so we don't even know like anything about them, or like what they actually are, because you can't actually like physically observe them. And like all of the molecules and like DNA sequences and whatever, like structures, the double helix and things like that, are all essentially imaginary, because there are things that they're always shown like with graphics, right? They're not actually shown. It's like, oh yes, please like show me what DNA like actually looks like taking a picture. And even then, even if you took a picture of something, because it's so small, like you can't actually, like that's not, like you can't see that with your own eye, right? Now you can use utensils, things like that, or whatever, not utensils, but like you can use, what am I trying to say here? Equipment to be able to see things that are smaller, like microscopic, like little amoebas and whatever, like small things, right? So not amoebas, maybe, I don't know, I'm jumbling up my words, sorry. I just woke up like a couple hours or like an hour ago. Anyways, But yeah, another thing that makes me really skeptical about space, which by the way, this whole topic, whether space exists or not, it's kind of irrelevant to our lives, especially like right now. Now, obviously with these discussions about like time and stuff like that, it kind of starts maybe shaping your reality more and coming in more with evidence on like how reality actually is. But I mean, like, it doesn't affect our lives, at least not right now. Now, maybe in the future it will, when Elon Musk has a allegedly colony on Mars or whatever, it will. But another thing that makes me very skeptical about the whole anything with space and like NASA especially is because, well, it's also funded by you, by the way. So the taxpayer actually pays money into that. So that's great, right? Like, for some reason we need to be giving them a ton of money, more than we already do, for understanding space or whatever space programs. But we had the moon landing, I believe was 1969, right? We had the moon landing. There's a lot of controversy with that. I think you guys probably know about that, like the shadowing and like the way that the astronauts are moving and all this other stuff, and like how they even got like the signal out from moon back to Earth to be able to do the broadcast and all these other things. And then like also seeing things about like sets and whatever. And I'm not even really trying to get into like all the conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but I just want to kind of talk to you guys about it logically and thinking, okay, so we landed on the moon in 1969 and then we like pretty much never went back, right? As far as I understand it. I mean, maybe there was a couple here and there, but my question is over the last like 10, 20 years that I've like really like becoming like a teenager and becoming into an adult and stuff like that, why haven't we done so much more in space? Like, have you ever kind of wondered about that? Like, okay, we landed on the moon, let's just say in 1970, it's 1969, so that was what, 57 years ago? Yeah, we landed on the moon 57 years ago, but we've barely been out to space and past that. And we've like, I mean, I feel like if we landed on the moon in 1969, how come we already don't have a base on the moon? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm completely disconnected from this and like the technology that it takes to be able to put a base out there or whatever, but it just, to me, it doesn't really seem like it adds up. Like, things are going a lot slower than, which, I mean, we do have that happening in our society too. I do feel like the technology that we actually have and like the government has, it's probably a lot higher and a lot better than what we are actually shown, because I feel like we haven't really progressed much in my lifetime as well too. Like, the computers have gotten pretty crazier, I will admit that. But and like the cell phones have gotten a lot better and things like that as well too. But yeah, the main thing is like, also I don't know 100% if this is true too. Like I said, a lot of this, I mean, it's impossible to really know whether it's true or not, just because you don't actually physically go there. And even if we did physically like go to Mars, you're gonna have someone who's like actually controlling the whole spaceship shuttling, and then like when you get there, like there's definitely like technology that they have nowadays that could like take you on this whole trip, and you would think looking at the windows that it's all happening, but in reality it's not actually happening, because of like ways of deceiving people basically with like projections and things like that. So I do believe that the technology that the government has is like way crazier than what we might think, so, but, or what we know about, right? But also I've heard that NASA, so NASA, it's actually NASA, I guess is how you say it in like Hebrew also. NASA, as far as I understand it, NASA means deception, so there's also that's like kind of interesting. But yeah, and then like the speed of light, I don't really know much to say about that. And like people, I don't think anyone in my comments were talking about like space and black holes and things like this too, but like I said, all of that just really, I don't believe any of it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, because what I can see here from Earth and like looking up at the sky, what I can see is a blue sky and a sun up there and clouds, and yes, at night I can see stars and whatever. But if you're wondering what my opinion is on it, I don't really believe that. It's not that space doesn't exist, but I believe that it's more of like, I think what it's called is a firmament, where like basically it's like a glass top, and we're kind of like in a dome thing is kind of what I believe. But I mean, even at the end of the day of that, like I don't like, I'm not like super passionate about that, but I just don't believe, I mean, pretty much most of everything that we're like told and taught is not true. So I don't believe, I think that we're told a lot about space and it's pushed a lot on us, and that makes me skeptical just in general, just that it's not the reality. Like usually anything that's like very, oh, that's so obvious or blatant, like it's blatantly like everyone knows that, like usually is not the truth. And I've definitely learned that with the way I've ate and like how bad our food is in our diet and whatever. So but yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I don't really know if you guys are gonna get too much out of this because I'm not like going into like the science behind it or whatever and like giving you guys like a bunch of examples and whatnot, but I just find it weird that it's something that's just like, oh yeah, everyone knows that, and also like the government funding it with like taxpayer money. I just think it's another way of like funneling taxpayer money and like basically keeping us like more in check, like with the funding of like the military and stuff like that, which that's another topic I can talk about in the future video about wars and American wars, so we can kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit. And yeah, so but anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna make another video right now, so peace out.